Buying a knife is super expensive, right? Buying a knife and a pair of gloves is even more expensive. Buying a knife and a pair of gloves that match is so expensive. It's extremely expensive. So in this video, I'm going to go over some really nice looking budget knife combos that I've found. And with CS2's amazing looking graphics, all of these knives that were once pretty ugly in CS1 are now pretty and shiny. And in my opinion, they look pretty amazing for budget options, and I would buy them if I was on a budget. Now, as a reminder, I'm going to be using buff prices instead of Steam market prices because they're really high. So if you want to check out the buff prices for yourself, there's a link in the description. One last thing before I start, I will start from the cheapest combo to the most expensive, with all of these combos having knives that are around $200 or less and gloves that are around $100 or less, maybe a little more. You can't have a budget video without a Navaja knife. So first off, we have the Navaja knife, Forest DD Pat minimal wear, and Operation Bloodhound gloves, Guerilla or Guerilla, I don't know, field tested, for a total of around $150. This is probably one of the cheapest combos you can ever get, and in my opinion, it matches pretty well. The Navaja knife is probably regarded as one of the worst knives ever, but in my opinion, as a budget option, I would take it over the regular knife. And while the blade on the Navaja is pretty small, I think it still has a pretty unique look and a pretty unique draw animation. So if you're looking for something pretty cheap, this is a combo you should get. I think the Guerillas or the gloves are also a really good pair of budget gloves as well if you're trying to match your Boreal Forest or Forest DD Pat knife with something, because the finishes and textures are just so similar, and I think it looks pretty good. Alright, next up we got the Shadow Daggers Boreal Forest field tested for $90 and the Hand Wraps Air Boreal field tested for $60. So in total it's around $150. And this one is another really good Boreal Forest or Forest DD Pat pair of gloves, and as you can see, they're both Boreal Forest, so it matches pretty well. And unlike other Boreal Forest knives, I think the Shadow Daggers, it's like a lot smaller, the pattern, in my opinion, so it looks pretty special. Alright, what if you don't like the Shadow Daggers though? So for something a little more expensive, you got the Paracord Boreal Forest minimal wear, and this one would go for around $110. Now I think this one, unlike the Shadow Daggers, the pattern is actually like regular size, unlike the Shadow Daggers where it's like kind of small looking on the pattern. So this one, I think it matches really well, and the Paracord knife is also not that bad of a knife to use as a budget knife, so yeah, there's that as well. Alright, for $190 you can get the Flip Knife Safari Mesh for minimal wear and the Operation Hydra Gloves Rattler field tested. And I realized how bad Safari Meshes look, but I think with an actual decent glove combo, it would look pretty good, like a lot better. So as you can see from this one, there's kind of like a pale green combo or match with the gloves and the knife, and I think it looks pretty good. And as a recurring theme in a lot of these combos, the Operation gloves are actually really cheap, so I think it's a pretty good one. However, if you use the knife alone or the gloves alone, I think it would look pretty bad if it was just standalone. Alright, next up you got the Gut Knife Freehand minimal wear and the Operation Broken Fang gloves field tested, and it's around the total of $190 as well. Alright, yes, I realize there's no distinct color match here, and they kind of don't match in terms of color, like is red on purple. Why? That's kind of weird, right? But I think the patterns actually match really well because both the freehand and the needlepoint look kind of, I don't know if messy is the right word to describe it, but they have like a really complex pattern, I guess. And I think it just matches really well with the pattern. So I think even though the colors don't match, it's a pretty good pattern match. Alright, for around $210, we got the Huntsman Knife Damascus Steel field tested and the Duct Tape field tested. Oh, also it's Hand Wraps Duct Tape. And I said in the previous video that duct tapes are really good combo matches for vanilla knives, just because how like gray, plain, not gray, like silvery they both look. And I think it's the same case for Damascus steels as well, because in my opinion, Damascus steels are kind of like budget, fake, vanilla knives, if that makes sense. So I think this one matches really well as well. And on top of that, the Damascus steel with the upgraded graphics in CS2 looks really good because it's really shiny as well. Dude, like I'm not gonna lie, I feel like my eyes are gonna get burnt off with this like amount of light being projected on my eyes. Alright, finally, for the last combo I have the Survival Knife Crimson Web field tested, and again the Broken Fang Gloves needlepoint field tested. This is around a total of $260, with the Crimson Web taking up most of the money, being $200. And I think this combo is a really nice one because it's like a red combo, even though the shades of reds don't really match exactly, but I think it looks really good. And considering how cheap and nice looking the Crimson Web is on the Survival Knife, I think it's just really amazing that you can find two pairs of gloves and knives that match in color and isn't like doggy looking, you know, like it's not like a gray color or like a safari mesh. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you want to leave, go ahead, but there's some things I want to say before I end the video. First, sorry for my lisp in this video. I think I just got my bottom row of braces and I've kind of been like uncomfortable for the past couple of days, and I'm kind of hoping that it will get better, hopefully. And second, I just hit level 9 on Faceit, which is really cool, and I want to hit FPL or play in FPL if that's ever possible for me. And I'm not posting as much right now just because I have so much more, like I've been playing so much more Faceit and I've had so much more homework from school, so I've been like more busy and stuff. Alright, that's all I had to say, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like and a sub, and with that out the way, I'll see you guys next video.